welcome to the hut, and a very warm welcome to the first ever and first annual Horror Nights Awards. Now, I asked a lot of you on Twitter to vote for your favorite everything about Horror Nights 29, whether it was the best house, best scare zone, best designed house, best facade, a lot of categories to go over today. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Theme Park Hut. And I'm sure once Horror Nights 2020 or 2021, whichever happens, we will definitely be doing this again, as a lot of people participated. There were a total of 20 votes, and that was a lot more than I could have ever wished for. So thank you to everyone that did vote, and if you didn't, make sure to stay tuned to this channel and my Twitter account for updates of when the next Horror Nights Awards will happen. Before we get started, I want to address something very quickly. As you can probably tell, this is a really new channel. I've been going to theme parks for years on end, and Horror Nights I've been going, this will be my 7th year going, Halloween Horror Nights 30. So I've been going to the event, I've been going to theme parks for a while, and I've always loved them, but I just now decided to start a channel on it. So I understand you're probably looking at this and the quality of the video isn't great and the audio isn't great, but I'm just starting out, this is what I have, and I do plan on making things better as my channel grows. I plan on getting better cameras, better audio system, just to make better content overall. So if you could please give me any support that you feel comfortable giving, whether it's subscribing, liking, commenting, anything truly does help, because this is a new channel and I want to continue to make videos like this in the future at a higher quality. So thank you very much again, and without further ado, let's get into the first HNA awards. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to start with kind of the lower level awards, not to discredit them at all, but I'm not just going to jump right into best house. I think I'm going to start with best facade, best show, best design, kind of awards like that, and we're going to work our way up to the top award, to best house. I will be listing nominees for each category, and the way this works is not every single house is nominated in every single category, but it averages to about 6 different houses in each category. So I'm going to list the top 5 houses that were nominated, and I'm going to list for scare zones the top 3, since about every single scare zone was at least nominated one time in every category. So I'm going to list the nominations, and then I will reveal the winner and the amount of votes it got. Now, I don't want it to be too detailed because this is the first time I'm doing it. I don't know what everyone wants. So if you would like to know how many votes each thing got in each category, let me know in the comments, let me know on my Twitter, and I'll post a tweet on Twitter about, because I have the number of votes that each house or scare zone or show got. But for now, I'm going to keep it simple, and just the top winning house or scare zone I will reveal the votes for. So with that being said, let's jump right into the first award, which is Best Facade. Now, the top 5 houses that were nominated and had the most votes were Us, House of 1,000 Corpses, Yeti, Nightingales, and Graveyard Games. And the winner of the very first award for the first annual Horror Nights Awards, voted by you guys, is House of 1,000 Corpses for Best Facade. House of 1,000 Corpses had a total of 9 votes in this category, making it the top winner for Best Facade. It had a beautiful facade, one that especially glowed up at nighttime, and I think it was one of the more underrated houses of the year. So me personally, I am glad I got the recognition it deserved in this category. Moving on to the next award, which is Best Show. Now, the nominees for this category are very obvious, as there were only 2, but that is the Lagoon Show Marathon of Mayhem or Academy of Villains. And the winner of the best show of Halloween Horror Nights 29 is Marathon of Mayhem with a whopping 14 votes. This took a majority votes in this category, and it is the biggest landslide win of any category that we're going to be discussing today. Next, let's move our way on up to Scare Zones, starting with the Best Designed Scare Zone. This category was one of the closest of the night, and I will say the closest was actually for Best House, but I'll get to that in a minute. For Best Designed Scare Zone, it was almost a tie, but one house edged out another house by 1 vote. Now for Scare Zones, the nominees, I will be listing the top 3 of the 5 nominated Scare Zones, which 3 got the most votes, and then I will reveal the winner. So, the nominees for Best Designed Scare Zone are Vikings Undead, Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe, and Vanity Ball. And the winner for Best Design Scare Zone of Halloween Horror Nights 29 is Vanity Ball with 8 votes, edging out Vikings Undead with 7 votes. This was one of the closest categories. Again, Best House was equally just as close, but we'll get to that one in a minute. But as I was going through the votes, this is one of those categories where I just wasn't sure if it was going to end up in a tie or not. But one vote determined that Vanity Ball would win. So this just shows thank you to everyone that voted, as your vote truly did count in a lot of these categories. Moving on to the Scariest Scare Zone. Now this category was the last one where one scare zone won by a landslide, and from here on out, every category, like I said, was determined by 1 or 2 votes. It was extremely close after this one. But let's get into the Scariest Scare Zone. The top 3 nominated scare zones were Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe, Vikings Undead, and Anarcade. And the winner of Scariest Scare Zone for Halloween Horror Nights 29 is Vikings Undead with a whopping 13 votes. It almost matched the 14 votes of the Lagoon Show Marathon of Mayhem, but it still won by a significant amount of votes. So congratulations to Viking Undead for being the Scariest Scare Zone as determined by 20 Horror Nights fans on Twitter. Moving on to the higher categories of Best Designed House. The top contenders for this, and I will read the top 5 houses that were nominated for this. And that is Yeti, Ghostbusters, Stranger Things, Graveyard Games, and House of 1,000 Corpses. And the winner for Best Designed House for Halloween Horror Nights 29 is, by 1 vote, Ghostbusters with 7 votes, just edging out Yeti with 6 votes. I will reveal that Yeti had 6 votes because it was such a close race. This is another category where I was like, this could end up in a tie, but it was so close. Ghostbusters ultimately took the win for this one, so congratulations for Ghostbusters being the best designed house of Halloween Horror Nights 2019. Next up is Scariest House. Now this one, only 5 different houses were nominated at least once, so I'll be only revealing the top 3 nominated houses. And the nominees for Scariest House are Yeti, Graveyard Games, and Nightingales, Blood Pit. The winner for Scariest House of Halloween Horror Nights 29 is Graveyard Games with a total of 8 votes. This one narrowly edged out Nightingales, but it ultimately took the win, so congratulations to Graveyard Games for Scariest House of HHN 29. Now things are starting to heat up. Here are the top 2 awards of the night, starting with overall Best Scare Zone. Now this one was another extremely close one where only 1 vote determined the winner. So, the top 3 nominees for Best Scare Zone are Vanity Ball, Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe, and Vikings Undead. And the winner for Best Overall Scare Zone of Halloween Horror Nights 29 is Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe with 9 votes, edging out Vanity Ball by 1 vote for the win. So congratulations to Rob Zombie for winning Best Scare Zone of HHN 29. Okay, here it is. The top award and most prestigious award of the entire night, Best House. This will be remembered for Horror Nights Awards to come as the first ever winner. It will be placed in the Horror Nights Awards Hall of Fame as the winner of Best House. This was, again, one of the most narrow categories, as this house only won by 1 vote. So, I will be listing the top 5 houses that got nominated in this category. And the nominees are House of 1,000 Corpses, Universal Monsters, Ghostbusters, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and Graveyard Games. And the winner of Horror Nights Awards' first annual Best House Award goes to, winning by 1 vote, Universal Monsters with 6 votes. Now, I will reveal the second place house. It was Graveyard Games with 5 votes. It was such a close race. As I was tallying the votes, this one was the one that kept going back and forth. All these houses kept tying. Even the lower houses that didn't win were still so close to the numbers posted by Monsters and Graveyard Game. But overall, Universal Monsters has won Best House of Halloween Horror Nights 29. Again, I want to give a very warm thank you to everyone who voted, everyone who supported this. The positive support and feedback was truly uncanny for me. I did not expect any of this. I expected probably like 4 people to do it, and I'd like, it'll gain. But 20 people voted in this awards this year. So thank you so much to everyone who supported. As I said earlier in the video, this is a very new channel, so any support that you feel comfortable giving would help me immensely, as I want to continue to do awards like these, and I hope to broaden the amount of voters each year that we do it. So thank you to everyone again. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter @ThemeParkHut. This has been another Theme Park Hut video, and let's hope it's not the last.